y'all. It's VJ.
It's James.
And this is
A Sip and a Shot.
Woo, 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 woo. As you guys can see, we have a special guest today.
It's me, y'all.
Did we figure out her name, or we want to give it later? Do we want to give the name?
Let's
now?
give it now.
Give us your name, girl.
Hello. My name is Jensy. I am the resident Millennial Therapist and part-time hot girl.
We got a part-time hot girl, y'all, who will get us together.
Yep.
Get our mental health together, our mental wellness together, all of that. But before we jump into that, let's do these drinks.
Yes, and just for those wondering, she's not drinking because she is here as a millennial therapist, and she's, sticking to guidelines, not going to drink on camera or anything like that. So she's sipping on. What are you sipping?
Tea.
It's regular tea.
No, specialty. From my favorite place, Calabash. It's this black-owned tea shop in D.C.
Okay.
And the tea is called My Last Good Nerve. So,
perfect.
People be working my last nerve. Just pour that in the cup, and I got an extra one on deck.
I was saying, like, not special, like, laced with any.
Oh,
like,
no.
nothing is.
It's not like special.
I got like herbs and then like some extra herbs.
There you go. Okay.
But regular herbs that can be sold anywhere.
Yes. Not in certain states.
There we go. What are our drinks this week, James?
Our drinks are, funny enough, let me think it through. So our shot is called the Winter Sun. It was a Jello shot that we turned into a regular shot. So it has whipped vodka in
triple
it.
sec.
Yep. A little orange juice.
And rosemary.
Yes, because we
A
forgot.
clap of rosemary.
A clap of rosemary, and we also forgot to add the lemon lime soda. So really it is our own recipe at this point. And hopefully it tastes good.
Cheers to the good.
Cheers to the bad.
Cheers to all the things
we wish we had.
Clink, 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 clink.
Tastes like some very light OJ. Light OJ.
Yeah, very light. Like, I don't taste the vodka.
No, surprisingly. I mean, not that surprising. I don't remember how much I put into it, but that's great. Even better.
One day I'm going to start watching like James. This has to be the
I followed well, you know what? There weren't any actual measurements because it was supposed to be a Jello shot, and it was like 3/4 cup of vodka. And I was like,
It is giving like Jello shot taste, though.
Yeah.
Do you taste the rosemary? Should we have added more rosemary to it?
No, I have something botanical. I'm catching something botanical.
Maybe
something
that's
a little
what's
herby.
keeping it light.
Probably. And we use like regular orange juice. I thought about switching it to like orange soda because Jello is very like sugary.
Yeah.
But we ain't do that.
All
so,
right.
I
don't know if I would add that to the.
That's not on our like recommend list.
Yeah.
That's on the list. It's like you got orange juice and vodka and some
rosemary
in your house.
Y'all, I got a whole plant because when I was looking for the rosemary, because you know what? The grocery stores are still in a shortage.
Yes, they are.
So I had to get a whole big plant of rosemary. So I'm going to have some rosemary chicken, some rosemary
You're going to
fish.
be okay.
We might get another rosemary cocktail in these coming weeks. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up. Might be Rosie and Mary.
Because we're going to be up in here with y'all.
All of that.
Rosie and Mary.
I'm excited about our sip, though.
I am nervous, shook up. I'm shook up about this sip. It's called the Dr. Sam tea. It has liqueur 43 and green tea and lemon juice. That's it. We don't know what liquor 43 actually tastes like.
We're gonna find out.
We're about to find out. The brand is Liquor 43. It's international.
I mean, like, is it yak? Is it whiskey?
It's a liqueur.
It's a liqueur with 43 spices and natural ingredients in it, and it's very popular in other countries. And I think it's Spanish because the website is like half English, half Spanish. And the bottle was pretty expensive, so we're using it.
It's a Spanish liqueur made in Cartagena, Spain.
Yes.
Also known as Colt 43.
Oh.
Okay.
There you go.
Some little fun facts. Colt 43 sounds like something my dad used to drink.
Colt 45.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I was like,
Just
that
two-way.
sounds
Yeah,
really
two-way. Just two-way.
familiar.
But hopefully it tastes very
You
different.
know what? When we have James back, we'll ask him about it.
We sure will.
We'll ask him about it.
We sure will. Our good old friend, Mr. James Glendenning.
All right, cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, let me get my
Cheers.
tea in. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Inclusive. Hey, that's not bad.
That's pretty. That's
That
good.
this tastes like okay. You know the McDonald's sweet tea
Yeah.
before they put like a lot of ice into it.
Uh-huh.
This right here.
Okay, so the Liqueur 43 is very sweet.
Yeah, and
It's a sweet,
syrupy.
syrupy kind of taste. Because we had it in the drink last week, but we only had a little bit. So that's why we wanted to taste something that had.
Yo, this right here, this
Yo,
light.
this is good. This makes up for the winter sun.
Okay, this is light.
I was gonna give y'all another cream drink, but Jamie was tired of the cream.
She sent me
We
that.
was gonna finish winter strong.
She sent me that cream drink, and my body was like, ooh,
I can't remember which one it was gonna be.
a snowflake.
Was it a snowflake?
Yep, it definitely was a snowflake, and my body was like, ma'am,
I was
we ain't
gonna
doing.
have
We
us
can't do that no
bailed
more.
Out, okay?
Y'all can catch some. Never mind. That was about to be a wild sentence.
Guess some what?
Cream for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Never mind.
definitely a wild sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she said it.
So,
Whatever. We're live.
Right.
Welcome
we go.
to it. So into our mental health
Our
awareness.
topic is mental wellness awareness.
mental wellness.
It's different than
awareness.
mental health.
Yes.
That's why they make, because mental health awareness is in, I want to say June, May. Close, but no cigar. Mental Wellness Month is January, which I think is very positive because everyone starts with their resolutions in January. And hold on, I had it up and I had to find out what Liqueur 43 was. But I like mental wellness because I feel like that was the journey I took in 2021. Okay, let me give you the actual title or definition. Interim Inc. recognizes the importance of mental wellness awareness month. Mental wellness is about how all aspects of your life, the social, emotional, physical, spiritual, and intellectual, all come together for an overall state of well-being. So it's not just taking like what's going on in your mind, but it's also taking like your environment into consideration, your social life, your family life, your health. Like physical health, all of that.
All of
About right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Financial health.
Your financial health.
Oh.
All of it.
Your spiritual health.
It's a whole
What that looks like for you. It looks at the whole human being.
It's full circle.
Yeah. So we figured, why not bring a mental health specialist onto the show to talk about, we're still going to be a sip and a shot.
Yeah.
Right.
A little sprinkle of us in there a little bit.
Sprinkle of us. It's going to be fun.
Some educational,
Yes.
informative
We
pieces
want to
tied
be
in.
well-rounded.
Yes.
So,
You go hit them with it.
well, I wanted to start with why, for us, mental wellness has been the reason why we started this podcast.
Yep.
Pretty much. And being able to express different things, kind of get out of your mind, laugh a little bit. And we started with the podcast, and now it is a internet radio show.
Okay.
Okay. Hit a button.
Per internet radio show. And I've added that on things too. Marketing pieces because I'm not getting fussed at no more.
Okay.
Go us.
Okay.
That was the reason we started this, and we didn't know that at the time. If I'm being honest, I
Yes.
did not know that mental wellness was a thing. Mental Wellness Awareness Month was a thing. So, but I'm like, this is such a VJ thing, to be honest.
It definitely is.
VJ thing.
Right up her alley.
What do you think about it? Do you think it's good that people are bringing awareness to it? What are some different tools people can use to not only appreciate it and celebrate it and take note of it in January, but take it throughout the duration of their life, essentially?
Yeah, I think it's really important to focus on a more holistic view. A lot of times when people think of anything mental, they're automatically going to like severe diagnoses. Like we're talking about bipolar, we're talking about severe clinical depression. But, you know, when you talk about mental health and mental wellness, it takes on your entire life. You know, like just because you're having like a moment or issue with mental wellness doesn't necessarily mean you're having a severe mental health problem. Yeah. And you should be open and honest about what you're going through, especially with your community members, people. You know, so you can be the best version of yourself as much as you possibly can.
I know I've talked about this on the show before, but I started therapy last year for my 30th birthday. That was like my gift to myself. But it was really difficult, and me and James had this conversation a lot. It was really difficult to even go to therapy or like sign up for it. And my best friend was very encouraging of me to do it. I was like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Like there's not that like I'm going crazy because I don't use the word crazy in a derogatory or negative light, but she was like, yeah, you might not think anything's wrong, but something's not right. Okay. So you want to figure out what that thing is that's not right so that you can feel better. Yeah. Because listen, y'all, heading into 30, it was no bueno. But I couldn't like pinpoint what it was. Right. And having, you have the conversations with your community, and they're probably going through the same thing and don't know what it is either. So that was my main reason for starting and continuing therapy, because y'all,
you need it sometimes. Yeah, and it's, I think, like on the point of it not being necessarily something wrong, sometimes you just need to talk to somebody outside of your circle, and there's not a person that you feel comfortable enough to tell, like, okay, this is a really private thing, this is not something I want shared. And finding somebody to like talk to, or a soundboard, or at least somebody to kind of like work through things that you're thinking about internally with somebody else.
Who's unbiased. Yes. Who really doesn't have a dog in the fight. And that's what I had to, that's what I had like, to realize about my therapist. Like, she really is not judging me at all. So I'm like, you might as well give her everything. Like, you paying for the session, give it all, and so you can be like a better version of yourself.
And for college kids, because so I went to therapy when I was in college at Towson, because I had a panic attack. It was a rough summer. My first panic attack, only panic attack, surprisingly. So I didn't know what was going on. I was just in class, like, can't breathe, freaking out with Brittany. She was next to me, and I was just like holding on to her, and I was like, she was like, are you okay? And I was like, can't breathe. And then it went away, and I was like, okay, well, let me go to the doctor's, because I had a car. That's when I told her my car the summer before. So I was like, maybe my ribs are bruised, or there's something going on. And I was talking to the doctor about everything that happened that spring semester, and she was like, maybe you should go talk to somebody. And I was like, okay. And I went, and I'm a big advocate for people going, if you feel like you have something wrong, you don't have anything wrong, you just want to talk, just go. But I think that what's nice about people being in college is usually it's free for you to go to, and college is a time where you're trying to figure out yourself, figure out life. There's a lot of things going on campuses that people might not want to talk about, so having somebody that you can go to helps.
Yeah. And it's free, because when you get up out of college, them prices it's not free. Now you might get a little, what's the EAP? You know, you might get a little assistance. You're for free.
Yeah, that's about 12 sessions. And
that's it.
That's all need to get paid. They are giving you.
But go to the counseling center, because it's people there who their job is to assist you. Yeah. And go to the career counseling, because they're going to understand what you're going through as well. Like,
exactly.
And if you're an adult who thinks they need therapy but doesn't know, just go for one session and just see how it turns out. Because I went and I was like, I needed this. Yeah. And it gets to the point, and I don't know if your clients tell you this, but I have gotten to the point now where my friends are like, have you gone to, when is your appointment? Like,
that's me.
Have you gone to therapy?
That's me. I'll be like, did you miss it this week? She was like, yeah, I did. I was like, okay, that's
like,
cool.
I've been on a little bit of a break.
Maybe we should add this to the list for when you go back. This might be something you should talk about.
The importance of community.
Yes.
So, can we bring it back up the chat? Because there was,
chat room.
question here.
Okay.
So from our fabulous friend, Kelly,
Ew.
she said, I hear about mental wellness, mental health way more than I ever have. Has there always been a focus on this that I just wasn't aware of, or has there been more of a shift recently to focus on it more? What are your thoughts on that?
I most definitely believe that there has been a major shift for many reasons. Number one, because of the pandemic, like people have been inside the house.
Yes.
You are forced to deal with your own issues by yourself. You can't distract yourself by going outside the house. So everything's just bubbling up.
Yes.
And,
It'll come to a head.
okay. Especially,
We're seeing it.
right? You see?
Very clear.
You see, that's one aspect. But another aspect is just like in more recent times, there is less of a stigma associated with mental health. I think it's important that people become okay with the notion of not being okay, right? Because, we want to be strong. We want to put on the facade that we have things put together, especially when it comes to like social media. We have all these images to uphold. But in real life, like, life is messy.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. It's not always perfect. And like, we need to be okay with saying that so that we can get to the point to where we can be comfortable enough being uncomfortable to make the changes that we need to get to where we need to be.
Yeah, that is okay to not be okay. And also, why we push for this, talking to someone outside of your friend group, because you do put a lot on your friends when they're going through something too. But when you said that, it reminded me of when Ty told me that I was going through a tough time. And she was like, what's wrong? She knew what was wrong, but it was why can't you just admit that you're not okay? And we had like this whole breakdown. And I was like, it's not okay for me to not be okay. Like, I have to be okay throughout my entire life. And, at that age, I was probably 20, 21. You follow the course. You follow the right way. You follow what your parents have said. And she was like, you're not okay. Like, A, you're not okay. And B, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to not be okay. So, and I think the biggest thing with our parents' generation, I think therapy was looked at more, like you said, as a stigma. But I think because a lot of us are getting married a little later, having kids a little later, we're having an opportunity to see our parents as man and woman, or woman and woman, or man and man, whatever your parent situation is, and not mommy and daddy. And we see what that looks like in 30 years, and we're like, I might need to figure some stuff out now.
And even like the Black community in itself, the like demand to be strong, the demand to be okay, to get up,
especially
to go to work.
Women,
and it's like there's always a feeling for Black men and women that it's just like, okay, we take it on the chin, and then you still got to get stuff done. There's no like, oh, I'm too tired, or oh, I don't feel well, or oh, I can just go talk to somebody about it, because before you couldn't. There wasn't a place you could go, or a place that your ideas or your like issues were welcomed or considered. And so it's like we're battling that, and then also battling the stigma of just therapy in itself outside of the Black community. And it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Oh, it's a big thing.
But I like how it's like coming down. The walls are coming down, not just amongst Black women, but Black men as well.
Yes.
Like, I was talking to somebody and he was telling me he went to therapy. I was like, "Ooh, that's a little
come on,
my spine." Like,
self-aware.
Get yourself to heal, brother. Heal. I like this.
Okay, so we do have another question from the chat.
Okay.
Do you have any self-help techniques that you can suggest for when you're at home if you can't get to a therapist?
Ooh, this is a very personal question. It's like, for every person, your plan is going to look different. You always need, and I put a heavy emphasis on having a strong social support community.
Okay.
We are human beings. We're social creatures. None of us exist on our own. And as much as we would like to be like, oh, I got this, I'm going to do this on my own, ain't nobody got me like me. Baby boy, baby girl, oh, let me tell you something. There are billions of other people on this planet that you interact with constantly on a regular basis, every single day. You're not going to be able to get through a day without interacting with people.
Yeah.
So make sure, or if you can, try to seek out people in your circle who genuinely cherish you and celebrate you for, you know, all the good that you have to offer. Number 2, figure out what good you actually have to offer, which is a lot harder than you would think.
Yeah.
You know, especially because like we're raised to do certain things. Our parents wanted us to do certain things. They put us in certain activities. They nudged us in certain ways.
They set us on a specific path.
Yes.
And then, you know, like society or social media has you feeling like you should do certain things this way, you should do certain things that way, but that may not be authentic to you. And if you devote your time and energy into doing things that are not authentically yourself, like you're not creating a space for you to grow as a person. So figure out what is good for you, like what you're actually good at doing, and figure out a way to like further develop that. So you can have a sense of like pride and confidence and really just grow into loving all the goodness that's inside of you, right? And also, your physical health is very important. Okay, don't be out here not sleeping, okay, not eating, not getting your nutrients. I mean, I know we on a sip and a shot, but you should not be taking a sip and a shot every single day. Please do it in moderation. Right, we're all adults.
Yep.
We're all and we're not young. We're young, but we're not like 20, 21 no more.
We like to have a good time, but we also like to care for our bodies. So, you know, like if your physical health isn't good, your mood is not going to be good, and vice versa. What else? So many.
I know one of my friends actually gave me a book as a Christmas gift, and it says, "Do one thing a day that makes you happy." And so I've been filling it out, like maybe not doing one thing that makes me happy, but being very conscious of how my day was and what was the one thing that you're great. It has like different things, like different sayings, different quotes, different things to pay attention to that happened in your day. So I'm like, oh, that happened today. Like that, like something like that to me puts a smile on my face. Another thing that, because you know it's New Year, so you do a bunch of different stuff. We wrote letters to ourselves. We wrote like a letter to our future self to see like kind of where we wanted to be, give ourselves a goal, to be honest with ourselves, but also fair with ourselves, and to show like what level of love you have with yourself. Some little tools.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Y'all did a little something. Okay.
I would say, what would mine be? Oh, I started doing self-care Sundays. Before, you know,
or Saturdays,
depending on what the podcast schedule looking like for the week. During the pandemic, because I felt like I needed to force myself to have a break from hustle and bustle. So it's like, okay, you might run yourself a bath. Let me do a face mask. Let me like take care of my skin, or, you know, just do something that made me feel comfortable and chill, whether that's like grabbing a cup of coffee, watching a crime show, because that's my jam. Just finding some way to care, like scheduling a day during the week to care for myself, to reboot. I try to do it twice a week now. It's a little dicey, but you know, you do what you can. And then I also I feel like whenever my friends are like struggling, I'm like, is there a hobby or something that you like doing, so that it's like, it's very easy for your mind to continuously go and pick at things and like just run nonstop. So if you have something that you can like, okay, I picked up a new book and I'm just going to finish that book. I'm going to read it. At least you're giving your mind a little bit of a reprieve from like, okay, work, this is happening at work. This is going on with my friends. This is going on with my family. Just find some way to force your mind to like pause. And then you can pick it back up when you need to, but at least, you know, go from there. On that note, I think we need a commercial break. I've been watching the clock. I'll be trying to be good.
Watch. Okay, y'all. Jensy's not going anywhere.
So send your questions in.
Man, you guys can call in when we come back. All of that good stuff. We got you covered, okay? It's VJ.
It's James.
And this is
A Sip
and a Shot on Plugged In Radio Network. We'll be back. We're back with A Sip and a Shot on Plugged In Radio Network. What was that? Over the break, listen, we're just going to be honest. Over the break, we refilled on drinks. As you guys, I had a few questions about the commercial we just saw.
We're having a good time.
We're
Per
having a good
usual. And we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We Anyway, before we get into the little, get a little saucy. We get to the part-time hot girl side. I had a few questions. We had a few questions. Number 1, advice on someone going through a mentally tough time, but they're not ready to go to therapy. Other than like take your ass to therapy. Like,
what is a tough time?
Anyone apprehensive about going to therapy?
Okay.
She said she was going to do this when we talked about this. She was like, it's probably going to be a lot of, well, it depends.
It depends on many things, right? If we're talking about like a severe tough time.
Not severe, but like where you don't think it's serious enough.
Oh, well,
Like, what would you tell if I'm like, Jensy, is some stuff going on? Like, as my friend, not my therapist. Like, girl, this is what's going on. And you're like, you want your therapy? I'm like, nah, I ain't there yet. I'm not there. I don't need therapy. Therapy's not for me.
What would? Well, see, can't answer that because I'd ask you another question. I'd be like, well, what do you need? What do you actually need?
Well,
What
I
do
don't
you
know.
want?
I don't know what I need, but I just know it's not that.
Well, then, see, it's a series of questions.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
Are there questions that people can ask themselves to see if they're ready or like need to go? Like, is there like something like, okay, this is your checklist. Like, you walk out the door, you got your phone, you got your keys, you got your wallet. Is there something that people can like, okay, let me check myself and then at least jumpstart that or like get the Calm app or something?
I mean, like, you can get apps, right? And they have like BetterHelp and apps of that nature. That it's not like traditional therapy, but you are connected with like a professional, and it's really like text based. So you could text in like if you're just feeling whatever feeling, you could text in real quick, and somebody will respond to you like within 24 hours. So you can get that. But, I mean, if you're going to deny yourself the opportunity to get the help that you need, like, don't. That's
Don't
on
bring
you.
it to me.
That's on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. If you're going to deny the help that if you're going to deny opportunity to be a better you, then that's on you.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Okay. Here's another one. How to be a better friend when your friend is struggling. So, like, you're fine. Like, what advice, like, can you give the friends to help their struggling friend? Told you, I'm gonna give you a few more deep ones, and then we're gonna have a little fun.
You definitely have to put your own personal emotions to the side.
Okay.
Especially if you know your friend is going through a tough time, what they might do or say may be kind of questionable. You might take it personally. Okay. Put your feelings to the side, because clearly they're not in their regular state of mind.
Okay.
Okay. Also, just be more available to them. If there's specific things that you could do, like if somebody's going through a tough time, you'll say maybe like, if there's anything that you need, just let me know.
Okay.
Sometimes it's really difficult for a person to articulate what they actually need at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, somebody who don't want to go to therapy, but they're also like, I don't know what I need. Well, I can't read your mind, can't help you. But I'll offer specific things, like I'll take you out to dinner, or maybe, like, I can come over and help you fold your laundry. Really practical
Come on, some acts of service.
Okay. Practical things, just so that you can let them know that you're there for them. And even if it's not like verbal or emotional comfort, sometimes somebody just needs a person around.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next kind of question goes with this chat room.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Comment. Okay. Black men have always, I read the last one first, and then I went back up.
Everything was like very cool,
Right,
and then all of a sudden, like, oh.
So it says, Black men have always denied mental wellness. We were never raised to tap into ourselves emotionally or mentally, unfortunately. Sounds like you're trying to get some sentimental pussy.
Extras.
Is that the person replying to themselves?
No, I think he was just adding on.
Yeah, to what you were saying about like acts of service, like going to help.
I mean,
like, oh, you want to come? I can help you. So my question would be,
I got some feelings about that. Okay, let's
I was gonna say, what would you give to a black man or a man in general? Sorry, go ahead, give it to us.
Before you get to that comment, go with the Let's go like for your mental health as a man, and then, sir.
Yeah, right. We see you, Joe. We appreciate you.
See it.
Okay, so to address that specific question, if you're not comfortable with expressing things emotionally, like verbally, there has to be another outlet or another way, shape, or form that you do, like, release whatever it is that you're feeling. So if you know that your guy friend likes to play basketball, or they like playing whatever Warzone or whatever, like, allow them to have the time to do those things.
Is Warzone a video game?
It sure is. Save that. Hold it.
Yep.
Take it.
Everybody has their thing. Vices.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
I support the vices.
You gotta let people have their vices, as long as it's not like interfering with their daily functioning. Like, if they're
say that again.
As long as it's not interfering with their daily functioning.
And she said, and she was starting to go with addicted to it.
They're addicted to it. They're like showing up late for work and things like that. Like, their actual life is crumbling.
Not paying attention to like people in their lives.
That sounds like a personal problem to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's to the point to where you're isolating yourself.
I don't know if Q was talking about the video game, but if he wants to have, if whoever that is wants to have this argument, we can.
Yo, you know what I'm gonna say is we're gonna set aside a day for the chat and us to talk about video games, and we could just hash it out. I don't think there's gonna be
Okay, so the comment says, for those listening,
can we?
The chat is very interesting, which I love,
and it has a good point. One of our listeners, writer, says, "Give me a J and some head, and I'll get over it." But are you really over it, or are you covering your emotions? You're masking your emotions behind it.
Just because you.
Do you support Q?
That means you support suppressing your emotions and never actually dealing what's bothering you, so you'll never get past it.
Let me tell you something about...
Who's that helpful for? It's not helpful for you and the people that you got to deal with.
Let me tell you about this millennial therapist right here. She will read you. You think that you're like actually doing something great for your mental health, and you say it, and then she's like, excuse me, and you're on the wrong path. You're like, okay, let me self-reflect. Let me try.
So let me be completely honest.
Give
you
it
feel
to us,
me?
black man.
I gotta give it to you how a brother gotta come. You hear me? All right. So especially in our black community, we really don't like. I don't remember. Oh, that was So especially in the black community, you feel me? We really don't. We're not raised as men. We're raised toughen up, suck it up, get up, brush it off. Da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Men don't cry.
Knowing damn well when we get in the room by ourselves and facing the pillow, we hurting like shit. You feel me? Like, but we're raised to not show certain sides of us. You get what I'm saying? But as you get older, and especially in today's generation where you have women who say they want you to be more, they want you to tap more into it, and then at the same time, it was a couple posts online where a woman was like, I begged this dude to open up to me, to be here, doing all of this. And the first time he did it, I didn't like it. I never talked to him again. Now that just taught him what he's been taught all his life was correct. That was his first moment of trying to be vulnerable. Men don't keep trying emotionally or mentally like women would. You feel me? And honestly, that's why I think women are stronger than men when it comes to our emotions and our mental ability. Because when a man gets hurt, he shuts down. You get what I'm saying? So it may start off as suppressing as long as it don't stay that way. In my eyes, we blow up. We have some men have a habit of responding to situations incorrectly, so sometimes until you can how can I say, until you can kind of like project those emotions and explain and express those emotions in a more positive manner, suppression at the beginning may be the best first step before you step into expression. You feel me? And that's just how I feel as a black man, especially in a world that don't understand raw emotion coming from a black man standpoint. You feel me? Respectfully.
Jensy.
So I will say this, because I agree with a lot that you're saying.
Yep, you're welcome.
Also, although like we are not at fault for the way that we are raised, we're responsible for taking ownership and accountability of that as adults.
I agree.
Right? So if we are in a position as adults where we do have opportunities and resources to be able to process our emotions better, because we're all entitled to our raw emotions, but the way that you express it,
Yeah.
you got to do something about that.
Yeah.
Because that has intended and unintended consequences for yourself and for others. But as a man, if you're an adult, you don't feel comfortable with your feelings, maybe this is a sign that you should try to be comfortable with your own feelings for yourself first. Like, I wouldn't jump into a relationship and then be like, oh, let me be vulnerable and dump all my trauma onto another person who
Agreed.
very well is not qualified to handle that. And you don't even know what it could be triggering for them personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's the hard part, because, you know, as in this world that we're kind of like really tapping into, if a man has never done it before, but he's trying to take those steps to learning how to do it, a lot of times our first time is with our significant other.
Yeah.
The person that we feel the closest to, the person that we, you know what I'm saying, that we got that connection with, because we're like, all right, she or he knows the best, knows the most about me. She or he showed to be more understanding, but then you might say something that trigger them. You don't know. You might say something and it just might go real fucking wrong. You might just say something, their response to it could just be like, suck it up. You know what I'm saying? And you like, well, I could have told myself that. You feel me? Like, it's a lot of different ways that it can play out. And it's unfortunate. It's not how it always happens, but that thought that it can happen be enough, you know. And I taught myself, especially, I started in 2021, but 2022 I really came in strong. And my biggest thing was I'm battling fear. You know, like I'm vanquishing fear. Like if I have any enemy, the enemy is fear. You know what I'm saying? Like fear in expressing myself, fear in being myself, fear in showing myself in my creative light. You know what I'm saying? I'm killing it all this year, you know, like, and now this is the first year I actually started understanding alter egos. You feel me? It's the first. I never understood it at first.
Sasha Fair song.
You hear me? But I you know what I'm saying? I call mine Luke Morningstar. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? It's a different vibe that you kind of step into, because I feel like I want to embody the light and the darkness in myself and accept all of me when I come forward to any situation.
Yeah.
But I definitely, you hear me?
That's growth.
Yeah. Yeah. But I want to teach that, and I want to reach that. That's why I'm loving this. This has been the best mental wellness month. That for the year to start off like this, you know, I took a spiritual journey. The show before y'all, spiritual, you know, gurus and everything, and he put me through a ceremony. I went through a whole little trip, did the shrooms, did the talk to Jesus, you know what I'm saying, whoever I talked to, and I realized that it's not God that I'm really talking to, it's the spirits. And just getting more in tune with my spiritual side. I'm not going to get all godly on y'all tonight, but you feel me? I'm not going to get there. But the more of what I'm saying is, it really took for me to get more in tune with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before I even started to understand and feel normal with myself, because I was always trying to please everybody else.
Yeah.
I
You
think one of the positives of social media, you know, social media gets a bad rap a lot, but one of the positive things is it shows Black men, Black women, about therapy, about mental wellness, different ways to express yourself, and because if I'm honest, our parents didn't have that example.
Right.
They didn't have anything to look through. You can go to a hashtag Black Men Therapy and just get a ton of resources.
It's a gift and a curse.
It's a gift and a curse, but I think you have to know that A, you're not the only person going through it. B, there's someone out there going through the same thing you're going through, and this is what helped them. And although that might not help you, you can find a different route.
Yeah. And I'll say, even with social media, not even going to like something like Black Men Therapy, but there's so many. The thing I like about social media is you get to see our people in a different light.
Yeah.
Where it's like Black women in luxury, where it's like you can get on Pinterest, right? And search women in luxury. And they ain't going to look like me.
Not at
all.
Okay.
Type in that black.
You gotta start the sentence with black, okay? And that's what you have to do on Google, on everything.
Yeah.
And then when you get on social media and you really find that like algorithm, that group of people, that page, that post, that hashtag, and then you start seeing yourself differently, I think that helps. Like, we did our photo shoot for the flyer, not even for the flyer, like, it wasn't even for the flyer. We were just like, we want to be.
Shout out to Jensy, because Jensy,
she's our photographer.
She did our photography.
By the way. Okay, she's got mad skills, okay? But when we were coming up with the concept of it, we were like, let's be Black women. Like, we want to be that picture, so that somebody types it up, it's us that pops up. Like, we are part of this. We are Black women in luxury. You can see us in our robes and our champagne and everything, looking cute, looking fly, on the rooftop.
That's right.
On this flyer.
Ew.
But
The
also,
other, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, you also have to be really intentional about that. Like, when it comes to making your algorithm, because a lot of times, like, we'll mindlessly like things.
Yes.
But you know, if you're trying to create
TikTok algorithm, is like right where
you
I
see,
like it.
like sometimes.
I saw this post.
Instagram is loving me, so I'm rocking with Instagram.
Okay.
Shout out IG and this new algorithm.
I saw this post today, which made me think about social media in like a different, like, I think about it, but not that way. It was this video of this girl who is like, she has like thigh highs on, like lingerie on, a like leather belt. And she's like, come boy, come here. And out comes a dog, right? And it switches to the person. He was like, the fact that the dog was the shock value in that, like, all of us fully expected a human man to come out in like a gimp suit and a chain and on a leash. Says a lot about the way that social media is like programming our brains. And he was like, maybe we should talk about that. Like, nobody says anything about like the weird stuff that we see and accept for
I don't know if it's weird. Like, everyone has
like weird, like for
like
the dog.
The normal quote unquote thing should have been a
dog.
dog. We should have been shocked if there was a man
that dog came out and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she did the thigh slap.
Yeah. It was like, come here, boy. And I was like, oh, okay, it's a dog. And the fact that like my brain didn't even like try to check it or be like, it's like, oh, this is normal. Like, it's a dog coming to its owner. And he was just like standing in a row. He was like, wow, all of us, same thought.
Yeah.
That was wild. But nobody talks about it.
Yeah. Fair. Speaking of social media, speaking of Black men.
How much time do we have?
Oh, yeah. What's our time looking like?
5 minutes.
Okay.
Listen,
see?
time goes by fast.
It's an internet radio show, baby.
Okay, we got times to keep up with.
So we're not going to mention specific things. We're just going to speak very generally. And because we're talking about social media, and the one thing that KB said was, you know, men will express themselves to their partners, and they might not be hit with the reaction that they thought or wanted, whatever. I think my little bit of advice is to remember that women are humans too, and we do not always have the perfect response because of triggered, traumatic stuff. So just let's keep that in mind. Let's be fair, because I know we give men a lot of chances, which brings me to this podcast.
Like, where is this? What is happening?
It's a big thing, especially on TikTok, about men who host podcasts giving women advice on how to be women. Yeah. Have you seen that and heard that?
I mean, yeah, but that's just like an extension of being a patriarchal society. Now it's just being translated into social media. Men have been telling us what we should do and what we should not do, how we should be, how they want us to be, and now they have
microphones.
Yeah.
And camera phones.
A following.
Yeah.
Wow. It's wild.
has a platform, and like you can choose to do whatever it is that you want to do. And this is that's one subsection of the entire umbrella of social media.
Got to be intentional with what you follow and what you watch.
Me and Jane were talking about it yesterday, and I told her it was women's fault.
Which I was like, we're going to talk about this on the podcast.
It's women's fault.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, because
no, it's not.
Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man sold out, and it was only women buying them. So what it signaled was that we wanted a man to tell us how to get a man.
And I disagree. Because, like Jensy said, since the dawn of time, men have been telling women how to dress, how to act, how to look, what's acceptable, what's unacceptable, whether it was beneficial to us or not. So that's how we've been programmed.
But for some people, it has been beneficial. I mean, you seen Marjorie? I'm not mad. I wouldn't be mad living Marjorie's life. Or Lori's.
I mean, everybody want to cry to Bentley.
You damn right.
Excuse me. Testosterone has a question.
Okay, testosterone. Come on.
It's more of a statement, but all right. So let's first of all let's rewind, ladies. Let's rewind a little bit, because this is really where it boils down to. Let's be honest. Women, y'all don't give a damn what us men think. Now let me get a little deeper into it. When y'all get dressed up and y'all leave the house, y'all not getting dressed for another nigga.
Correct.
Y'all
getting dressed for either A, to stun on your yesterday's outfit, or B, to stun on that chick across the room that you know is going to be in there. Because every time I talk to a girl, I'm like, first of all, look at her. You know what I'm saying? Like, women, y'all real live
you might need to
get dressed up for other women.
Yeah. It's not for y'all. Y'all don't even know what the lipstick color is.
Some of you may do it for yourselves, but some of you actually get dressed up for other women's opinion, for other women's approval, not the other men.
I mean, maybe not approval, but like I enjoy giving women compliments,
and it feels nice to get a compliment. Like when
from
you see
woman,
like
from a woman,
or like a little girl.
Yeah,
if she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love your hair," and you're like, oh, "Okay, thank you, my puff is great today. Your puff is good too, boo."
Yeah,
like you look good, sweetie.
Because they get to see like different things.
But that's because y'all have great spirits. You feel me? Not everyone is operating on a great spirits. You feel me?
I don't be hating on no women.
You feel me? But
there are
that's
people
you
out
can't
there.
speak for everyone. You can't speak for all women the same way I can't speak for all men. You know what I'm saying?
But
I be trying. I be trying to help
y'all out.
I be trying to help the greater opinion. You feel me?
Let me speak for the men.
POP, hold it down. But no, but on all honesty, even when we step in a little deeper than that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna say this because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, take y'all time out. But I watch some of these little podcasts that I be watching, that I be seeing that you speaking on. It was one dude. Oh my God!
We ain't saying no names.
I don't know. I don't know him.
I mean, no names of the podcast.
They haven't been like out.
I don't know him.
Okay.
I don't know him at all. I can't even tell you the name. I just saw it on Instagram.
That's fine.
And the statement started off. He showed a clip of when he was talking about how black women perceive black men. You feel me? He was like, if a black man ain't got money, his own place, and all of that, he pretty much gets shitted on. You feel me? He pretty much gets shitted on in his own community.
Okay.
All right, let's be honest. Men in general are the only species in this world that they have to have a income. We're based off our income or what we can offer another person. You know what I'm saying? A man will date a woman. She ain't got to have shit but a pretty face and a nice ass, and she can get it all. You know what I'm saying? Rags to riches in a week if she walked through the right alley at the right time. You feel me? But a man has to court you. You know what I'm saying? He has to have the funds to court you. He has to have you know what I'm saying? He has to have certain statures that you're looking for. It's a little different for him. You feel me? I see y'all looking around like, all right, so where you going with this?
We're trying to catch up.
Trying to meet you where you
are. You're not lying. You're not. You fixed it. You got back on track.
You feel me? But I'm in it off on this. Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. When it comes down, like back to the podcast thing, when he started talking about he don't date black women, you feel me? I don't know if they canceled his ass, but it was a huge uproar on his personal opinion. his personal opinion on how he
Yes.
feel or what he wants to date, about why he wants to date other races and everything. It was a huge backlash.
Well, can we clarify
Please.
something? It's not, and I'm gonna just say this generally. It is not whether or not you want to date black women. It is putting black women down in the process of trying to date other women. It doesn't matter to me that you don't want to date me or people that look like me, whatever.
Or
but you
your
don't,
mother,
your,
for
or,
that.
your family, where
That
you came
part.
from, all that.
That part.
What matters is the tone in which you do it in, and how respectful you are to black women when you're doing it.
Respect.
So if you are sitting up there and you're like, oh, I don't want to, like those night riders, those black bitches, whatever, you don't have to do that. You don't do that to any other race.
Nah,
we don't
respect.
do that to anybody. You don't have to compare us to anybody in order to get your viewpoint across. You can say you don't like oranges and just say you don't like fucking oranges.
I don't like apples because they're red.
Okay. It's like, it doesn't have to go to that point. And that's where our, like, the black women are like, we're tired. We're not asking you to like, I don't care if you like me. I'll be okay. But the way that you say you don't like me and what you like, putting other people on a pedestal above me just to prove a point, is not okay. Because that's where the problem comes in. I don't care.
And
I
my
don't disagree
thing is,
with
if
that.
you want to put other women on a pedestal, that's great. My only thing is, who else are you putting on that pedestal? Because the white men don't do that. Like, they don't act like that. And if that's what you're trying to be like,
Nobody listen to them corny motherfuckers anyway.
Well,
Let's be honest. They got money and they sit in the back of the room.
well,
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Black people, we are the influencers, and that's just how it goes.
We are. And that's the other thing that, like, frustrates me with it, is like, our community is so set on tearing each other apart, where it's like, why would anybody want to look at you? Like, if you go to a job, right, and you have somebody that looks just like you, that's standing up there, raised the same household as you, everything, and they were like, oh, my sister, she raggedy, she ain't shit, she don't deserve nothing, she shouldn't be here. And it's like, well, if they don't trust you, they don't want you, why should I? Yeah. And it's like, we're not looking at each other, we're looking at each other as competitors for some odd reason, or something that's just tossed to the side. Maybe that's because of the way that we were brought up, not necessarily our parents, but society.
I mean, yeah, that's the
the
history of our country.
Yeah, that's the history of it. But it's like, what if we can get to a point where we could just support each other, or leave me out of your mouth? I think we will be at a better place at some point. And
because I think I'm gonna let the therapist close us out on this. But there was something we had a listener message us, and in response to what you were saying, like, men have to, especially black men, have to be providers. I think sometimes it's forgotten that a lot of black women, especially a lot of I'm gonna just put this out here, my friends, make I'm not gonna say a lot, they make more money than their counterparts or men that they have dated. And I think that, I don't know if that's conveniently forgotten, or we just don't throw it in their faces. Okay. So I think, and I think black women, especially black women who want black men, try to do a great job of, and this is not what you should do, but I'm just going to say it, making yourself smaller to make them feel bigger. And sometimes I think that needs to be appreciated a little bit more.
Agreed.
Yeah. She was like, and that's that.
I'm just going to leave that at that, because I have friends who make, and I have dated many people who I made more than, but I didn't throw that in their face. Like, you take me out on a date, we might not be going to Del Fresco's, but Outback Steakhouse works tonight, like,
Starbucks.
Shit,
Free
we
dates.
going to Olive Garden.
Olive Garden, museums, whatever. You get fancy with it.
And I feel like, especially black women who want black men, we try to, this is turning into a date, and we're going to turn this back around, but we try to be very, like,
or make it into a part 2.
Let's
It's
do
giving.
a part 2, because we do have to go, y'all.
Yes.
But we do a lot of trying to make things work well. I just want to spend time with you. And I'm at the point like, no, nigga, I want you to spend some money on me.
Okay.
And I want you to spend time with me. Okay, see?
Okay. Yep. There it is.
Listen.
So final thoughts from our part-time hot girl millennial therapist.
Really came out.
Listen.
Okay.
Spend a little money.
Get through the wine.
Look,
Get through the
And spend
drink.
some time. Like, spend some time on me. Take me on vacation.
Yeah, it escalates.
Sorry.
It escalates.
Right. You know, just give people time to express themselves, and look what happened. You feel free, don't you? Like, no, but what I was really gonna say is, I don't think people understand that when you offer your opinion, that's not the beginning and end of a conversation. So, like, you really need to think about why you're offering your opinion, and if you expect nobody to respond to you, that's not an opinion. Like, you're trying to push your beliefs onto somebody else. So if you are really strong in your opinion and your beliefs, then you should be able to have an open conversation with the people that you are offending, especially if you have a platform where you're like interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
You expect them to just be like, oh, he said this, so I'm gonna just be quiet.
And just take it. Why? Yeah. Why? Because who are you?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you supposed to grow if you're not getting people interacting like with yourself? Like, you want people to be engaged, but when people are engaged and it's uncomfortable for you, now it's a problem. No.
Yes.
Stand 10 toes down in what you just said.
And let's have a conversation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Y'all, this has been great.
This is a good show.
I love
And
it.
we're going to have to bring Jensy back for a regular, like, non-therapeutic mental wellness show. Just for a good key.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You don't want people to find you on social media?
Please do not.
Okay,
Let
that's
me
what I thought.
live my private life
I know. I
privately.
got you. I got
get
you.
it. I
Listen,
get it.
she got her own
I
clients.
understand, girlfriend. Trust
good.
me. I understand. Keep your ish private.
All right.
But thank you again so much for joining us. We love your opinion. We love it. We love it. We love it.
If you have questions for her, I can pass them along, and then I'll pass you back an answer.
Yes.
So you can email us. We're on Twitter now at A Sip and a Shot. You can DM us on Instagram, YouTube, whatever you need to do or you want to do to reach out to talk to somebody that might be able to help you with your mental health and your mental wellness journey.
Yes, all of that. And on that note, it's VJ.
It's Jane.
And this is
A Sip and a Shot. Bye.